Hello and welcome to Dyca TV with me, Callum Craig.
And me, Jessie Dubbelboer.
It's Friday the 19th of April 2013 and week 2 of Block 7.
Coming up on today's show,
we'll be taking a look at how Dyca students are preparing to progress at the end of this year.
As St George's Day approaches, we'll be finding about the patron saint of England and what it means to be English.
A letter from a scientist sells at auction for $5.3 million. We'll be finding out why.
It's week 2 of the final block of our academy year, and many students around the academy are thinking about their plans for next year.
We caught up with Miss Jenkins to find out about her role in the options process and with students around the academy to find out how they are preparing for the change. What subjects have you chosen in the options process?
I've chosen geography and history and art and ICT.
Why have you chosen them subjects?
I've chosen the subjects because I enjoy them and they'll help me to what I want to do in the future.
And what advice would you give to freshers who are just about to go into prep year? Should they be worried? Should they be scared? Should they be happy? You can tell them.
You shouldn't be worried and you shouldn't be scared and don't feel too,
just enjoy it really.
Yeah, and just enjoy it and work hard.
It's a very exciting process. It's very exciting for the prep students because it's the start of their career, their futures. Very important process. It's an exciting time for me and for them to see the students pick what they want to do in the future and get to places and get to where they want to be in the future. Hopefully I can provide for them the subjects they want to do to be able to get where they want to be.
Of course some students may not realise at times, but do you have to make them realise, or is it just like a quick talk and then they know what they're doing?
Quite a lot of the students have got very strong opinions of what they want to do. They get help from the staff because they come to the open evening on an evening and speak to the staff there about the different subjects, so they kind of get a bit more knowledge about the subjects so they can choose a definite subject they want to do. Sometimes they need a little bit of help, sometimes they need a bit of persuasion on which route to take if they're really good at a certain subject, and it's always good to give them that compliment and that encouragement to choose a subject that they're good at.
Next year I might take a gap year and find an apprenticeship in London, try to work up on my media skills and journalism skills so I can get into City University London to study journalism the next 3 years. I would like to be a journalist at the end and maybe go back to Hong Kong and be a reporter, or go back to China and just be a reporter or a magazine editor or something.
After sixth form I would love to go to university and carry on studying, and ever since I've been little I want to be in a job within dance, either be a choreographer or be an actual dancer. Don't waste your time in school and don't mess about, because I regret all the time I messed about, because now the exams are really close and I've just messed about loads.
Good luck to all students. We hope you achieve your ambitions.
Next Tuesday, April the 23rd, is St George's Day.
Although little is known about St George, he is thought to be born in Greece in around 275 AD and went on to be a Roman soldier.
He is remembered as a Christian martyr, and 23rd of April marks what is thought to be the anniversary of his death in 303 AD.
He is often portrayed slaying a dragon, a legend that dates back around 1,000 years.
To find out more, we asked Mr. Boyce, Miss Hunter, about how St George's Day is celebrated and what it means for English people.
St George is the patron saint of England. While he originated in Turkey, he integrated himself so well into British society that he became a symbol of the essence of being British and being English.
St George's Day is a very special day for people who's English, and it should be marked a lot more and a lot more significance put onto the actual date itself, because it is proud to be English and to have the red and white as the English flag is, rather than the Union flag. What's the colours of all other parts of Great Britain celebrate their areas, and I think it's nice that we celebrated St George's Day and we keep it close to our hearts and the reasons why we celebrate it, and be proud to be English. We're proud of who we are, our heritage, but we don't take it as passionate. What's a little bit of a shame, but you know, it is proud, and it is very nice to actually have a bit of passion within the English framework. I think sometimes it's had a bit of a bad name where the English flag has been used in scenarios. Some people use it in anti-government ways, and that's a bit of a shame, rather than being proud of being English.
The dragon actually represented evil, and by slaying him, it is the idea of Britain being able to survive any evil and conquer it all.
I think they actually should focus on their own identity, to be proud of where they come from, their roots, their actual standing, the history and heritage of actually being English.
Last week, a letter written in 1953 by English scientist Francis Crick to his son about his Nobel Prize-winning discovery of the structure of DNA sold at a New York City auction for $3.45 million.
Francis Crick and James Watson discovered the double helix structure of DNA in 1953, changing our understanding of how living things pass on genetic information to the next generation.
To find out more, we caught up with Mr. Beaumont.
What was the discovery of Francis Crick and James Watson?
Right, well, in 1953 they were working at Cambridge University, and they used work from Rosalind Franklin, and using pictures from a process called X-ray crystallography, what they discovered was the actual shape and structure of DNA. So they discovered that it was in a double helix shape, and they had complementary base pairs, which gave us our code, our genetic code.
What's it mean to people now? Do you think that they know their DNA and all the terms of it?
Well, it's extremely important because obviously it allows us to understand how we are formed, not just as a species but as individuals as well. Things from like CSI, crime, identifying suspects in murder cases and things like that. But it allows us to potentially cure diseases as well. We can get the code for things like cystic fibrosis that are passed down through generations, and allows us to potentially look at curing viruses and bacteria, because we can unlock the way that they're made and potentially take out or put in genes that can help us defend against them. And there's also now the prospect of genetically modified crops as well, where we can make crops that are resistant to disease or resistant to drought and other applications like that. So it's a very important discovery, and it's one that is probably one of the biggest discoveries in the past 100 years, and has allowed us to open a new field of science.
And the job of doctors and nurses, do you think over the years it'll keep expanding when they find out more discoveries, more about DNA? Do you think that we'll find out anything else?
Yeah, definitely. Genetics is a growing area of science, and it's a very important area of science, like I've said, with health and now potentially with feeding the world as well. So it's something that we can certainly go into, and we've not understood the code of everything that we've decoded yet. We've got the genetic code for human beings so that we can identify parts of the genetic code, but we don't understand all of it entirely yet, and we don't understand how it all works together yet either. So there's still plenty of areas for us to look into how we can use the genetic code to help ourselves and also potentially help the planet as well.
Just time for a look at next week's weather. It will continue to get warmer with lots of April showers.
A final thought for the day. American politician William Jennings Bryan once said, "Destiny is not a matter of chance, it is a matter of choice. It is not a thing to be waited for, it is a thing to be achieved."
So go out there and make it happen.
Have a great weekend.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.